Hi, Akron After School kiddos. Welcome back to Reading with Miss Myers. And I am Miss Myers. Today we are reading one of my all-time favorite books. It's not my number one, but it is my number two favorite book. I used to have my parents read this to me when I was about your guys' age every single night. And it's just a really good book. And it's hilarious because, there's a lot of twists and turns in it that you don't really expect. And it is called A Porcupine Named Fluffy. That's an interesting title. And it is by Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. And these two make incredible books, in my personal opinion. I love their 3 Cheers for Tacky books, any tacky book, of course, and any book that Helen Lester really makes, I love. I've read almost every single one of them. So hopefully you enjoy this story as much as I do, and I want you to go ahead and listen to the story. Have fun, guys!
Hi friends, today we're going to read A Porcupine Named Fluffy. This is written by Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. So this is one of Miss Myers' favorite books. By looking at the cover, can you tell me what this story is going to be about? Those are some great ideas. Let's read the story and see if you are right. When Mr. and Mrs. Porcupine had their first child, they were delighted. Now, he needed a name. Should they call him Spike? No, Spike was too common. Should they call him Lance? No, Lance sounded too fierce. Should we call him Needle Rooser? No, Needle Rooser was too long. How about Prickles? Pokey? Quillin? Then together they had an idea. Let's call him Fluffy. It's such a pretty name. Fluffy? But soon there came a time when Fluffy began to doubt that he was Fluffy. He first became suspicious when he backed into a door and stuck fast. That was not a Fluffy thing to do. He was even more convinced when he accidentally slept on his back and poked holes into the mattress. A very unfluffy thing to do. He tried to carry an umbrella. He knew the truth without a doubt. Fluffy definitely wasn't. So he decided to become fluffier. Clouds are fluffy, he thought. I'll be a cloud. But he couldn't stay up. I know. Pillows are fluffy, he said. I'll be a pillow. But his mother sat on him. She was not pleased. He tried soaking in a bubble bath for 45 minutes, but did not become fluffy. He became soggy. He tried whipped cream. He put a little on each quill. It was not easy, and it took more than half a day. But this did not make Fluffy fluffy. They should have named him Gooey, he sighed. He ate a lot of fluffy marshmallows. He rolled in shaving cream and feathers. He even became a bunny. But the truth remained, Fluffy wasn't. One afternoon, Fluffy set out for a walk, trying to think of ways to become Fluffy. Before long, he met a very large rhinoceros. "Grrr," said the rhinoceros. "I'm going to give you a rough time." Fluffy didn't know what a rough time was, but he didn't like the sound of it at all. "What is your name, small prickly thing?" asked the rhinoceros unkindly. "Fluffy," said Fluffy. The rhinoceros smiled, he giggled, he laughed out loud. He rolled on the ground, he jiggled and slapped his knees, he roared with laughter. "A porcupine named Fluffy!" howled the rhinoceros. Fluffy was embarrassed, but he tried to be polite. "And what is your name?" he inquired. I can't say it," giggled the rhinoceros. "Herbert?" suggested Fluffy. "Oh, help! I can't say it. I'm laughing so hard," said the rhinoceros. "Harold? Or maybe Herman?" asked Fluffy. "No!" gasped the rhinoceros. "It's Hippo!" "Hippo? A rhinoceros named Hippo?" Fluffy smiled, he giggled, he laughed out loud, he jiggled and slapped his knees, he howled with laughter. "A rhinoceros named Hippo?" Fluffy cried. "A porcupine named Fluffy, a rhinoceros named Hippo." It was almost more than they could bear. Hippo and Fluffy rolled on the ground giggling and laughing until tears came into their eyes. At last they laid exhausted on the ground. From the time on, they were best of friends. And Fluffy didn't mind being Fluffy anymore, even though he wasn't. The end. Thank you for joining me with this wonderful story of a porcupine named Fluffy.
Hi guys, welcome back to Reading with Miss Myers. So in this book, we learn that a porcupine named Fluffy realized when he got older that he was not very fluffy, right? And he was not okay with that. So he tried to change himself to become fluffy. And, in the long run, it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter what his name was. He was who he was, right? And you don't have to be fluffy because your name's Fluffy. So I think it's funny because it does show ways that he could try to become fluffy and they're not working out, and it's funny. But then he meets a hippo, or a rhinoceros, named Hippo. And he's kind of like, okay, well, my name's not so funky anymore, right? I'm a porcupine named Fluffy. My name isn't so funky anymore because there's a rhinoceros named Hippo. So I think this book kind of teaches a lesson about no matter what your name is, it's not your name you create, it's the person you are, and that's the person that your name becomes. So if you're hardworking, people are going to say your name and think of hardworking or smart. So it's whoever you create and not just your name. Your name could mean a million things. So not to take your name so seriously and just love your name for who you are. And I definitely think of that for this book, that it teaches you just to love who you are. No matter what your name is, no matter characteristics of you, just love who you are. So for today, for your little activity, I want you to draw me a picture of an animal and give it a different name. So like a rhinoceros named Hippo. I'm going to give it a different name. And I want you to draw a picture of the animal and try to write the new name that you give the animal right next to the picture. And then go ahead and post it on our Google slide and make sure you write your name next to the picture so that way we can see it. Alright guys, I hope you have a lot of fun doing this little activity, and I hope you enjoyed reading one of my favorite books of all time. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!